So, we're finally back to UFC cards. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. The only reason this video is out late is that I literally just didn't fucking know there was a card on this weekend. I I really thought it was another week until we got fights, but obviously I was wrong. The break went quick. Was low-key very needed. Some of these cards were getting a bit shit. So it was pretty good to get a bit of a break. But we're back. We are rejuvenated. And let's do predictions for the first fight night card of the year. Starting off with the first fight back, which would be Joe Solecki versus Narilo Aliev. Now this could be one of the worst fights of all time, just based on like the style of both of these guys. Joe Solecki is pretty boring. Like, let's not even sugarcoat it. He's not really like a crazy entertaining fighter. He doesn't really do much damage on the ground. He maybe gets a submission every now and then, but you look at him, he's more of a decision guy. Look, you see, lost to Grant Dawson. He got dominated by Grant Dawson. Got slam carried by Drakkar Klose. He did beat Carl Deaton, but Carl Deaton beat Alex De Silva, but did he really win that fight? I remember that should have been a draw. I don't even know if you can say he should have beat Jared Gordon. Jared Gordon probably did more damage. And then, like, he's not a very entertaining fighter. He's not got a great chin either. While Narilo Aliev is also not particularly like an entertaining fighter himself. Like, he is just a grappler. Like, the fact he got a finish on Dana White Contender Series to get signed is mostly due to just Josh Wick was on such short notice. I don't even think that guy's fought since then either. Yeah, he fought Aliev 3 years ago. He just never fought again, which is pretty sad. It's actually really sad when you think about it. But like, he's literally only got, I think, two finishes. Neither of these guys are big finishing threats. You know, Aliev's been out for a pretty long time as well. He's been out since 2023, I think. Yeah, but almost it's approaching 2 years since he's been out. Who knows what he's going to look like after this time off. But I'm going to go with him over Joe Solecki. I just think... I got to go with Aliev. He's not particularly entertaining, but he does appear to be pretty good. He's dominant. He's vicious. He will bite you. He'll win by any means. That also could just get him DQ'd. But I think he'll be able to beat Joe Solecki here. But this is not a great fight. On paper, who knows? Maybe these two just slug it out on the feet. That'd be pretty entertaining. Now we got Victoria Dudikova versus Fatima Klein. I'm actually pretty surprised about these odds. So I went with Victoria Dudikova. I know she did lose to Sam Hughes, but before that, she was winning some good fights. To be fair, Isela Nunes broke her arm. I don't know. I know Fatima Klein took her debut on short notice. It was up a weight class, but I don't know. All these people were talking real high on her, and I didn't think she looked that particularly great. She just sort of got mauled. And you look at her level of competition, it's decent. Don't get me wrong, she's got a lot of grappling, but I'm just gonna take the underdog here on Victoria Dudikova. Like, she's done some good work. She's got a lot of experience. It's not like she's been complete bums. And that Sam Hughes fight, I'm pretty sure that was a pretty close fight too. I mean, it was a split. I don't actually fully remember that fight, if I'm gonna be honest. But I always get a woman fight wrong anyway, so if I'm going to do it, I might as well take a big gamble on the underdog. The massive underdog. I really don't get the odds, if I'm going to be honest. I'm pretty sure... Okay, yeah, it was 29-28, so it was a very close fight. And a lot of people also gave it to Dudikova, so... Yeah. She's got very good striking. Fatima Klein does have some wrestling, but I'm just going to go with Dudikova. She's a massive underdog. And I always get women's fights wrong anyway, so might as well. Then we have Magomed. Holy shit. Magomed Gadzhizulov versus Bruno Lopez. I'm gonna go with the Bahrainian here. I think he will win. Bruno Lopez, he was meant to be like the next big thing, in a way. Like he was really hyped up, and then he just got fucking starched by Brenton Ribeiro, and then ever since then, he just not looked like the same fighter. He looked awful against Mikhail Hilani, the Georgian guy he fought on Contender Series. He looked awful in that fight. They both looked really bad. And I know Magomed's not like he's not the greatest guy either, but he did beat Ribeiro very. I think he had to wrestle in that fight. He also beat Jose Medina, who's fucking shit. Like, let's not even lie. Jose Medina's just never been in the UFC. He's a diversity hire. Like, he is the definition of DEI. He's only in there because he's Bolivian and they have no Bolivian fighters. And it's a market they want to break into. But regardless, I'm going to go Magomed here. Bruno Lopez I think that Ribeiro lost. Took everything he has out of him. And Magomed's pretty entertaining. You know, he can wrestle if he needs to. But he's also got some good kicks. He throws Showtime kicks. That could gas him out here. But I'm gonna take Magomed here to get this one done over Bruno Lopez. Then we have Anesta Karakate versus Nicola Kalari. Oh my god. I'm gonna go with Anesta here. She didn't get the W in her debut, but was it a debut? I think it was a very close fight from memory. I don't know. All I know is she fucking scraps. She's always going for damage. Sometimes in women's MMA they don't record damage for some reason. They always just go for control. I'm just gonna pick her to get this one done by damage. She can scrap. She's violent. Hasn't beat the greatest level of competition, but I'm gonna pick her. Just because, why not? I think there's some underdog. Okay, she's a moderate favorite. Okay, so I'm actually picking the favorite here. Okay, interesting. Then we have Preston Parsons versus Jacoby Smith. I've got to go with Jacoby Smith. This guy really impressed me on Dana White Contender Series. Super athletic dude. Powerful guy. His striking is coming along well. Very good grappler. In certain ways, he's like a welterweight Chris Weidman, I'd say. But he's also got the explosiveness of like a prime T-Wood. Like he's a very, very powerful guy. Like he's just a freak, genetic freak. He works hard, obviously, very good grappling, but he's super athletic. I think Preston Parsons is going to get knocked out in this fight. Preston Parsons like an underrated guy, but at the same time, do we really rate that win over Semmelsberger now that Semmelsberger has lost like 3 in a row, got chinned by Charles Radke? Like, I don't know. I don't really rate that win now. Preston Parsons, he's been chinned a few times. Got chinned by D-Rod, chinned by Mike Perry outside the UFC. I think he got chinned as well by somebody else. He lost to Trevor Giles by split decision. But I think he's going to get chinned here. So I'm going to go Jacoby Smith. He's taking this on short notice though, which is a bit worrying. But I don't even think he's like a big welterweight. He could probably make 155. But, like, how tall is he? It's 5'10", yeah, he's just a big, stocky guy. He is like T-Wood. He's like T-Wood, but he's not scared to go, he's not like the frozen one. He's always moving forward. Like 18-second KO, like, I think he's going to knock him out early. Like, I really do think this is a really good stylistic matchup for him. It doesn't matter if he took it on short notice. I think he's going to catch Preston Parsons. There's no betting odds because this fight got announced pretty recently. But yeah, I'm going to go with Jacoby Smith. Then we have Thiago Moises versus Trey Ogden. I've picked against Trey Ogden in like almost all of his fights. Like I swear to God, and I'm not going to change that now. But he does always find a way to win. So it really wouldn't surprise me if he does find some way to get this W. Because he fucking always does it. Like he's not even like a dangerous guy. Like he literally just wins by like holding people down. Like having a pretty like weird little kickboxing match with him. Like you look at this record though, beat Daniel Zellhuber, that was impressive. Lost to Jordan Levitt though, that is weird, right? Lost to Jordan Levitt, then you beat this big Ryan Garcia like version. Like And then you lose to Ignacio Bahamondes, but Bahamondes is on a great streak. He should have beat Nicholas Motta, which is aging pretty well. Motta's now on a 2-fight winning streak. Like, he should have won that fight. The referee screwed him over there. He was dominating that fight. But beat Kurt Holloway, not like a crazy win. And then he beat Radzhabov. But a lot of people said that was a robbery because he didn't really do any damage. He literally doesn't do any damage in these fights. He's like... I don't know. I was going to say he's like Bilal Muhammad. Bilal Muhammad does have hands. So I don't even know what you could say. He's like the lightweight version of... Fuck. Who am I thinking of here? I don't know. He's sort of like John Fitch. He's like a modern day version of John Fitch. That's probably the best way I can describe him. He's never really doing damage. He just sort of wins the contest. But I don't think he's going to be able to do that to Moises. Moises had Islam Makhachev's back at one point. Like, that is worth mentioning. He gave Makhachev like a pretty decent scrap, especially in the grappling. So I don't think Trey Ogden's going to be out there and ragdoll him. I could be completely wrong though, you never know. He does always seem to win, but he's 35 years old. He's so old. Like, surely he's not going to win. If he wins this, he's somehow going to become champion. Like, I know Moises isn't like the greatest win in the world or anything like that, but it's just the trajectory I see Trey Ogden on if he can somehow just dominate Moises. But I'm going to go Moises. Then moving on up, we have Marco Tulio versus Iho Peteria. Brazil versus Ukraine. I'll go with the Brazilian. Marco Tulio. I mean, Iho Peteria is taken an insane amount of damage. Almeida poked out his eyes, kicked him in the dick. Michel Pereira just dropped him and choked him out cold. Bellato, he was actually beating Bellato's ass, but then he ended up getting chinned. Got chinned by Carlos Olberg, got chinned by Nikolai. Like, even then, even his early fights got chinned. I think Marco Tulio will get this one done. He's pretty decent. Like, he's actually a pretty good striker. He's powerful. And, like I said, Iho Peteria's just taking so much damage, so you got to go with Marco Tulio there. Then you got Jose Johnson versus Felipe Bunes. I don't really like either of these guys, to be honest. Like, not like personally, like I don't fucking hate them, but just as fighters, it's not either of these but neither of these guys are easy to pick in fights. You put them against each other, that still doesn't make it easier. Both of these guys, neither of these guys are UFC level, but I'll go Jose Johnson just because he's going to be so much bigger. Like, he's 6 foot at flyweight. That's crazy. That's crazy work. They also have the same reach, pretty much, though. That's actually pretty crazy. Like, he's got really bad, like, length arms for his height. That's crazy. But, yeah, I'm going to go Jose Johnson. I just think he'll get it done. I think he could wrestle. So let's just go Jose Johnson. I do want to mention something about Jose Johnson. Don't ever give up on your dreams. This is his amateur career. He went 0-5. 0-5 is crazy. And like against like 0-2, like against not great guys. And this guy's in the UFC, kids. Don't ever give up on your dreams. Then after that, he was 1-7 at one point. Like, that is actually insane. And then he ended his amateur career at 24-13, 24-14. So, yeah, never give up on your dreams. Obviously now, he's like 60-9. So he has had a lot of losses in his life. Let's just say that. He's not a man scared to lose, but I think he will get this one done. Anyway, we have Soriano, Punahele Soriano, there we go, versus Uros Medic. I'm going Uros Medic to get this one done. I just think Soriano did look very good his last fight, but Miguel Baeza is finished as a fighter. I feel like I think I've seen that he fought again and he lost as well. Never mind, I made that up. But regardless, I've got to go with I've got to go with Medic. Like, Soriano, I don't know, you look at him, he got destroyed by Kopylov, not a bad loss, got destroyed by Dustin Stolfus, lost to Nix Maximov, Lost to Brendan Allen. But we know he's chinnable. Roman Kopylov got him. Boris Medic isn't like horrible with takedown defense. Like he did lose to Orobai, but it's fucking this Mitaback Orobai. He's not like a bad fighter. And he's got lightweight skill. Poor Soriano is coming down from middleweight. He's got middleweight skill. This is middleweight skill versus lightweight skill. That's also really crazy when you think about it. This is a former lightweight versus a former middleweight, welterweight. Crazy actually when you think about it that way. But I'm gonna go Uros Medic. I don't think he's like a bad fighter at this weight class. I can't remember. Did he fight? Yeah, he did fight again after. He beat Tim Means. Yeah, that was a brutal finish as well. I'm gonna go Uros Medic to get this one done by KO over Soriano. Then we have Austin Bashi versus Christian Rodriguez. Now this is an actual interesting fight. Like a part of me really wants to go with Christian Rodriguez, but I really do rate Austin Bashi. But this is like a generally tough fight. I don't rate Christian Rodriguez as much as I do at bantamweight, especially when he's like the 139-pound champion, because he always misses weight and beats these undefeated prospects. It's just his specialty. But he also robbed that Armenian dude he fought. The wrestler. Oh my god, man. I've got to check. Isaac Dolgarian. He did not beat Isaac Dolgarian. He shouldn't have won that fight. But like, look at this. All these undefeated guys. Like, he's the undefeated guy killer. Like, that a part of me wants me to pick him just because of that. But Austin Bashi. And then he loses to Julian Erosa. And I think I picked that right. I might be wrong, actually. I might not have. That's just one of those Julian Erosa wins you just don't see coming. But I'm going to go Austin Bashi. I get that Christian Rodriguez has good takedown defense, but Austin Bashi is just fucking, he's an animal. He won't stop. Both of these guys are former bantamweight, so neither of these guys are going to be like particularly big for the weight class, but Bashi just impressed me a lot in the Contender Series. Now, we didn't see much of his striking, but he seems to have really good cardio. He just doesn't stop. I think that's what you sort of need to beat a Christian Rodriguez. He's got good takedown defense, but if he pulls like an Anthony Hernandez just over and over and over and just eventually, he might not get the first 3 takedowns, but eventually he'll get him. So I'm going to go Austin Bashi to get this one done over Christian Rodriguez, and we'll say about decision. Then we have Chris Curtis versus Roman Kopylov. Now, Chris Curtis has me blocked on Twitter. This hasn't got anything to do with my reason for picking, but I feel like if he's focused on blocking all these people on Twitter and looking up his name, it's not gonna fucking help him when he's fighting. Like, he was crying about Roman Kopylov having spies in his camp. Like, brother, you're Chris Curtis. You don't fight any fucking differently any fight. You don't even know how to cut the cage. Like, you were following Jack Hermanson the whole fight, and then you were pissed that he wasn't like running into you so you could hit him. Like, you were frustrated you couldn't punch him. Like, do you realize how stupid that is? Like, it's honestly one of the most stupid things I've ever heard. But regardless of my thoughts on Chris Curtis and blocking me for, I didn't even say anything bad about him either. He's just a fucking sook. Like, I actually liked Chris Curtis, and I like his fight style, but he's got me blocked for some reason. There's even a whole group chat of just people he's blocked, and it's fucking, should have a lot more people in it. But anyway, those thoughts on Chris Curtis aside, I'm gonna go Roman Kopylov. I think he's better, he's bigger, he's an actual middleweight. Even though Chris Curtis has a lot of wins at middleweight, he's still a welterweight fighting at middleweight. And Roman Kopylov, I feel like he's just better. He can grapple. Chris Curtis has pretty good takedown defense, but we did see Amabov expose it a little bit. So I think Kopylov has a chance to do that too. He can beat him up. Very good striking. He's very good with the hands. He lost to Anthony Hernandez, but I mean, it's Anthony Hernandez. Anthony Hernandez is good. He clearly beat Cesar Almeida as well. That fight shouldn't have been a split decision. Clearly won that fight, dominated him with the wrestling, but we also know he's got hands. He hurt Almeida as well. This is a guy who beat Alex Pereira and never got knocked out by Alex Pereira. He's just brutal. He's a brutal fighter. So I'm going to go Roman Kopylov, get this one done over Chris Curtis. Then we have Abdul Razak Al Hassan versus Cesar Almeida. I'm going Cesar Almeida here over Abdul Razak Al Hassan. Now, Al Hassan could definitely win, but he's not going to grapple here, and I feel like Almeida's just a lot better on the feet here. I know Judo Thunder, he's got this judo background, but he never uses it, and Almeida's actually shown good get-ups, good takedown defense. He can get back to his feet, he can scramble a little bit. And we have seen Al Hassan get chinned a few times, like brutally as well. Got choked out cold by Joe Pyfer. The Cody Brundage fight was very unfortunate. Lost to Buckley, but it was pretty close. But that Chaos Williams KO just brutally KO'd. So yeah, I'll go Almeida. I reckon Almeida will be able to find the chin. He's powerful. Then we have Ponzinibbio versus Carlton Harris. Now, I know Ponzi is incredibly washed, and Carlton Harris isn't like bad, but I feel like this is a good matchup for Ponzi. Even though he is washed, one of the best parts of his game, and it does still remain, is his takedown defense. I think he'll be able to keep it standing. I think he is a better striker than Carlton Harris. Now, I would imagine Carlton Harris is probably a big favourite here, right? Near even. Okay, I'm honestly shocked about that. Okay, Harris is like the slight favourite on tap. Okay, that annoys me a little bit. I was hoping he'd be like a pretty big underdog. Because he should be, considering where he is in his career. But like, he's so washed. But he's powerful. We did just see Carlton Harris get chinned by Chaos Williams, who did it better than Shavkat. But, you know, Shavkat's a undisputed GOAT. Best fighter in the world. Shavkat by whatever he wants. But anyway, I think Ponzi is going to get this one done. We know Carlton Harris can be chinned. We know Ponzi can be chinned, but we know Carlton Harris's striking is just awful. Like, he's got power, but he's got very funky style of striking. Not like a Dricus du Plessis either, where it's like unorthodox but works. He does grapple heavy sometimes. He's got some good submissions, but Santiago Ponzinibbio, you know, very good anti-grappler. So I'm gonna trust him even in this old age to get a victory here over Carlton Harris. I remember when Ponzi was like the dark horse of the division. Now you look at him, he's on like a 2-fight losing streak. Lost to Holland, Salikov. Should have won that Salikov fight from memory. Like, a lot of people telling me he should have won that. Beat Alex Morono in a fight he was losing. Beat Miguel Baeza. Arguably beat Jeff Neal, which is weird. Arguably beat Michelle Pahea. These are like the weird things about Ponzinibbio. Like, there's so many fights he should have won, but he didn't win. So, yeah. But anyway, I'm going to go Ponzi. Then we have the main event. Mackenzie Dern versus Amanda Ribas. I'm going to go Ribas. Why am I going Ribas? Well, they've already fought before. She dominated her like 30-27. Some people had it 30-26. I know you can improve. It's been 6 years, but it's women's MMA. You don't really see any rapid improvements. We've probably seen Ribas show a bit more in the striking than Mackenzie Dern at this point. Yeah, Dern knocked down Angela Hill, which is impressive. But we've seen Ribas get like a spinning head kick KO. So, if you're going to go on improvements, I'd say Ribas probably had the better improvements. We already know she can dominate Dern. So I'm going to go Amanda Ribas to get this one done. I know it's 5 rounds, but I think she'll win. She's already done it before. Like, I know this isn't like high elite fucking breakdown of a fight by any means. It's pretty lazy. But I'm going to just go with Ribas, okay? Like, that's pretty much all I can say. Like, I'm not even going to like give like some great break. Oh, you know, Mackenzie Dern does this and this stance, so that means Ribas has like a good chance of landing like a body head 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, she lands at a 5, right on the dome, knocks her out cold. You know, or she shoots takedowns in this way, gets the perfect position for a guillotine into a triangle, then turns it into an armbar, and then she'll get Dern out of there by submission. Like, no, there's none of that. Like, Dern's taking a lot of damage as well. I think Ribas could maybe, land someone on the feet. But Ribas isn't also, like, durable either for women's MMA standards. Both these women have taken some wear and tear. But, like, Dern does have power. She throws, like, overhands like Dan Henderson. Not that she's powerful like Dan Henderson or is good. She just throws big meaty overhands like Dan Henderson, but I'll trust in Ribas to beat her again. So yeah, we'll go Amanda Ribas to win the main event. So make sure you like this video, subscribe, share the video, you know, same old, same old. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. I'll be back with an interview this weekend. Hopefully, if all goes right. It's somebody I've already interviewed, but I'm pretty excited for this interview because I already know there's going to be an insane fan base that will come to the video because I'm going to word his opponent's name into the title. And his fan base is very dedicated. Let's just say that. If you guys can guess who it is, I'd be very interested to see. But yeah, you guys will see who it is very, very soon. So thanks for watching. Like this video, subscribe. See you guys next time. Peace out.